Good morning. Thank you for joining us, for the brave ones here live in the audience. Thank you for joining us, also for the spectators behind the screen. It's the first session of the day, and I'm happy to announce in the next 10 minutes that we have a partnership, TVH and Xenith Height, with the Aresta products. And in the next 10 minutes, we want to give you a short introduction on what you can expect and how the product will look like. My name is Rick van Wildermeers. I'm the market management specialist serving TVH already for 22 years. And I'm operational from the headquarters in Belgium, TVH Parts NV in Belgium. And I'm facilitating the strategic development and stocking of the parts at TVH. Next to me, a short introduction to my new colleague, Ian McIntyre. Thank you for joining me today and being present. Ian is the founder of and director of Xenith Height since 2015, operational from the UK, from Brighton and Hove, and he started the company Xenith Heights and the range of the Aresta products with a view to make the height products safety. Short introduction on TVH is a company with a tradition of more than 50 years, and it keeps all industries, the 5 industries that you see on the screen, it keeps it going. We're serving 5 main markets, from material handling, the forklift business, the construction equipment, mainly the small earth-moving machines, lower than 10 tons, the telehandler and the mule business, always on the parts business, the industrial equipment, which involves the port equipment, the ground support equipment, the cleaning industry and the tail lifts. Agricultural equipment mainly involved the tractors, harvesting and many more. And finally, the workshop and warehouse supplies. TVH is there when you are in need of parts. We try to meet your expectations, the needs of the parts, whenever your equipment stops and whenever your business stops. And today that is one of the most important things, to keep your machine running. That's also our slogan, keeps you going. For that we have a wonderful range of parts to offer, more than 1 million parts on stock at TVH, of which more than 300,000 on new parts only. And the only goal is that we keep your machine and your business back on track. We talk about different brands, we talk about different partnerships, and today we can announce a new partnership with Aresta. So first of all, TVH wants to offer quality parts, and therefore we partner up with partners from top-tier brands that assure that our components, they are reliable and that keeps your machine running and extend the lifespan of the equipment. At TVH we know that it's not only the machine and the components that matters, but also that we keep the machine, the operator, in safe working conditions. The partnership will help to keep the operator safe during the job site, and Aresta is not only a globally recognized specialist in fall protection and height safety, but it is also a very high quality driven product, cost effective and user friendly. The core focus is on anyone working at height, including construction workers, operators, also warehouse pickers, and mainly for the mobile elevating work platforms. The collaboration ensures that TVH customers across MEA, one exception is the UK, now has direct access to the highest quality safety gear alongside their machine parts. And the slogan, I think that's the main reason on doing it, is safety is not an option, it's just a necessity. I'm happy now to give the floor to Ian, and he will show some of his products.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. I'm Ian McIntyre from Xenith Heights. We started manufacturing harnesses in 2015, and our slogan, our motto, was to make height safety simple. And our first concentration was in the new industry because we could see there were some challenges. And go to the next slide. So there's a number of challenges in the market, in the Mute market. One being equipment selection, making sure you've got the right equipment for the right job. The next one is compliance, making sure that the product is compliant with regulations, and then you can actually track and trace those products. The other two is the operator error. As we know, that is a key thing to be concerned of. And lastly, human factor. The two that we're going to concentrate today is the equipment selection and the compliance. Now, the reason why I pick out those two is because I think the other two will be covered off in those two. Making sure that you've got the right product and using a cherry picker is really, really key. So you look at the harness and you pick the harness that is suitable. We know what it is to go out there and look for the cheapest harness, but that's not always what you're actually looking for. What you're looking for is the right product for the right job. And so we have the high-vis harness, which is what we call our driver's harness. And the reason why is because drivers inherently don't like to put on a harness. It takes too long. So we have a harness, we designed a harness that actually works for the drivers. It's really, really easy to put on and extremely comfortable. So that's how we overcome that. The harness itself has the quick connect buckle, which we'll go through in a little bit. And then we go to lanyards. Next slide. The best lanyard you can have is a lanyard that will keep you in the basket, whatever happens. As we know, the guys that are most risk are the drivers. When they're using a cherry picker and they run over a curb, the cherry picker will flip them out of the basket. If you have a lanyard like that, when you get kicked out of the basket, it'll stop you instantly. And that's the best option, because that will automatically adjust to wherever you are in the basket. So whichever corner of the basket you are, that will adjust accordingly. If the basket then kicks you, it's going to hold you in the basket, because what you want to do is to stay within the basket. And then going on to that, there's adjustable, next slide, adjustable lanyards. There's two types of adjustable lanyard. There is the rope grab, which you fix this onto the anchor point and you fix the other end onto the rear or front of your harness. And as you come back to the machine to operate, to drive the machine, you just pull the rope down and make sure the lanyard's tight. That will keep you in the basket. That is the second best option. And what you see a lot of companies do is they use the other lanyard, which is an adjustable lanyard. You have a buckle and you adjust it. Again, it's a neat little lanyard, but what we tend to find with this lanyard is a lot of people don't actually adjust it, they just leave it at a fixed length. So going back to making sure that the harness is easy to use, we developed what we call easy click buckle. That means to say that to put the harness on, it's very, very simple. You just have a simple connection like that, as opposed to the old-fashioned parachute buckle. We find that a lot of drivers will actually use that product as opposed to try and skip it. And then lastly, we mentioned the other was on the technology. Next slide. Is we now developed with Scannable a digital ID for the products, and you can just click on there and you can see straight away all the information, all the specs, all the data sheets, everything is on that section. So just to reiterate, at Aresta, our passion, next slide, our passion is to make sure that people go home safe. So keeping height safety simple is, if you make it simple, you find the guys will use it, and our passion is to make sure that everybody that is in a Mute gets the opportunity to go home safe. Thank you.
Today we are introducing a digital ID on our harnesses. This is from a partnership with Scannable, and we have the harnesses here. As you can see, they have these little tiny tags on them. These are the RFIDs, and it's the same on the lanyard. These can be determined by the fact that the product has now got green stitching to denote that that product is scannable. So that's the product there, and we'll show you now how we can actually scan them. So you just take your phone, you cover the piece on your phone, and it comes up with that. Then you can go on the phone and you can look at the certs. So you go to specs and you've got the certification and you've got the declaration of conformity and you've got technical data sheets, and from there on you can actually go on to do the harness checks. This is a portal that has all of your products on it, and you can register, take a product, register the product and view all of your products in one location.
If you would be interested in the product, so TVH is the distributor for MEA, as mentioned earlier. For the UK, it's Ian who will still be responsible. If you have interest in it, please reach out to us. So again, Rick van Wildermeers, and from Aresta is Ian McIntyre. Thank you for your attention, and if there are further questions, we're happy to answer them right after the presentation. Thank you again for your presence.